So the next program we have is write a C++ program to sort the element of an array in ascending order using insertion sort. Okay, first we'll understand what is the program. So here we are sorting the element of an array in ascending order using insertion sort. Okay, anybody has heard what is sort? Anybody? Sort? Okay, ascending order. Has anyone heard of ascending order? In your schools also you have heard. Ascending order means? Amira?
Small to
Somebody?
big.
Yes, good. Correct. Who told?
Me, sir. Kafil.
Kafil. Okay. Correct. Ascending order in simply means arrangement of elements from smaller to bigger. For example, smaller to bigger in the sense we'll start from small elements, smaller numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. These are nothing but the arrangement of smaller numbers. So if in case your array is given with values unarranged, not arranged, okay, those values will be arranged in the form of ascending order using your insertion sort. Okay, first let us understand what is sort. Sort is simply nothing but arrangement of elements one after the other. Okay, using insertion sort. Insertion sort means you will insert those values accordingly in the form of ascending order. Okay, so this is the concept of the program. Okay, see array, you know the definition. Next, sort is nothing but arrangement of data in particular fashion, which can be increasing or decreasing order. So increasing order from smaller to bigger numbers, decreasing order from bigger to smaller numbers. Okay, so example, consider an array. This is the procedure of your program. As I have given procedure for each of the program, for this program also you'll be having a procedure how it takes place and how you need to write the code. Okay, you'll be writing your array first. So array of how many memory locations is this? What is the n value for this? Anyone tell me, if you have memory location of these many boxes, what is the value of n?
3, 4, sir.
Yes, it is 4. So array addresses will be up to 3. That is
3.
a of 0, a1, a2. Yes, good. A0, a1, a2, and a3. So n value will be 4. If we give n value as 4, it will make 4 memory locations. In 4 memory locations, each one will have address something like this. That is a0, a1, a2, a3. Okay. Now we will fill this array with some numbers. Now how will we start with our sorting thing? First is we'll consider first sort I is equal to 1. If I is equal to 1, where does it point? It will point to my a of 1. Okay, I value is 1. Since we have how many? 4 memory locations. So we'll be arranging the elements 3 times. Okay, we'll take 3 iterations. See, if we have 4 boxes, we'll do 3 iterations. How? By exchanging each of the element with the preceding element or succeeding element. So I have first sort, second sort, and third sort. Okay, now we'll study first sort. Now I'll take the position j also as 1. So I value is also 1, j value is also 1. So it will be pointing where? It will be pointing here. Here j value you have. Here I value also you have. Both are pointing at the same place. Okay. Now next thing, as I said you, j is pointing here, I is also pointing here. Now, since we have to exchange the values accordingly, because we want to arrange them in smaller to bigger. See now, comparing first two elements. First element is 5, second element is 2. So which is smaller in that? Since we have to arrange from smaller to bigger, 2 is smaller. So what we will do is, we will shift this 2 to 5 and 5 will be shifted to here. Okay, we cannot do directly the shifting, because if we shift the value 2 from here to 5, 5 gets erased and 2 will be entered. Now how will we shift 5? Since 5 got erased, we will not be able to shift 5 to our second memory location. So we'll use a procedure of temporary variable such that we can exchange the values. So first it will compare a of 2 is less than a of 5. So a of 2 is nothing but this location we have taken as j. So I'll write it as a of j. Now next location, that is first location. How should we write the first location? So what is a of j? A of j is 1. Okay, it is at one position. It is at one position. See, j position is 1. So it is written as a of j. Now if I want this one to be, indicated, how will we write? Since we want 0, so what we will write is a of j minus 1. So what is a of j minus 1? If a of j is 1, here if a of j minus 1 is 1 minus 1, how much? 1 minus 1 is 0. So a of 0 is this position. A of 1 is this position. So j value is 1 over here, j value is 0 over here. Why we did this is because we have to compare each element one after the other, so that whichever is smaller, it will be arranged. Okay, arrangement will be done according to smaller to bigger. Now since we have done first iteration of arranging the element, it will start exchanging. Since 2 is smaller than 5, so 2 will get exchanged to this location and 5 will get exchanged to this location. Now how this takes place, how this transfer takes place, we'll take a temporary variable. In that temporary variable, this location is given as what? A of j. So I'll take a of j. Now this location is also called as a of j minus 1. Okay, in a of j, what value do we have? We have 2, right? In a of j minus 1, what value we have? 5. Now we have to interchange. So I'll shift this 5 over here and I'll shift this 2 from here to here. So we cannot do directly. That is why we have used a third variable, that is third empty variable, for temporarily to exchange the values. Okay, now next I'll shift this 2 to my temporary variable. See, now this will become 2. And yes, since you have shifted 2 over here, this will not get erased. Only after you place some other value, then only it will get erased. Okay, so 2 is shifted to temporary variable. Now from temporary variable, okay, before shifting from 2 from temporary variable to your a of j minus 1, you have to empty this 5. So I'll shift this 5 to my a of j. Okay, see, 2 got erased and 5 got inserted. Now you can shift your 2 from temporary variable to a of j minus 1. See, 5 got erased and 2 got inserted. Now we have done our what do you say, exchange thing successfully. See, now the array looks like something like this: 2, 5, 3, 1. Is it in ascending order? No, because here again we have 3 which is less than 5, 1 which is less than 3, as well as 5, as well as 2. So we have to go to second iteration. Second iteration will start from, see, first iteration will start from a of 1. That is why I is equal to 1, j is equal to 1. Now, since we are going to second sort, where will it start from? It will start from the second memory location. So I'll take the position also as j is equal to 2. Now, where will my what do you say, arrow indicate to memory location? It will indicate at a of 2. So it will be at a of 2. Now this I'll call it as a of j, and lesser than that, before that element, before 3, what you have 5, which is at a of 1. So a of j is second location. So a of j minus 1 will be first location. So now you have to compare these two. If it is smaller, what will happen? It will do this procedure again, where 3 will get transferred to this memory location and 5 will get transferred to this memory location. Since after exchange, it will become like this. Now I'll take, since I have finished my exchanging of variable from second position to first position. Now I will come to first position, and from first position to the 0th position, I will be comparing. That is what I have taken, j is equal to 1. First is, it was at j is equal to 2. So I was starting my comparison from j is equal to 2, then 1. Now I am starting from 1. So from 1 to 0, I should go. So I'll take this as a of j, and then I'll take this as a of j minus 1. Now I'll compare whether this is small, whether 3 is smaller than 2. No, it is not smaller. So now it will not exchange anything. Only if it is smaller, then it will exchange. Okay. The next step, it will not do anything. So it will print the array. Now, since now can you see, is it arranged fully in ascending order? No, because 1 is
No.
smaller. Yeah, no. Oh, 1 is smaller. Even still more arrangement should go on. So third sort will be starting from I is equal to 3, means the last memory location. So j also I'll take it as 3. Okay, see, since the third location is a of 3, which is 1 less than 5. Okay, then only then it will exchange. Again here I'll write it as this location a of j, and this location a of j minus 1. Okay, now 1 is smaller than 5. Obviously it is smaller than 5. So the condition is true. It will start exchanging. Then position j is equal to 2. First it was 3. It was here. So it is started exchanging. Now it will go to position 2. That is j is equal to 2. Now where will our a of j point? A of j will point at 2, and a of j minus 1 will point at this location. Well, that is 1. Now again it will check whether 1 is less than 3. Yes, it is less than 3. So what will it do? It will exchange. Okay, 1 will go over here and 3 will come over to the next location. Next, now again j value will decrease. J is equal to 1. Now it will come, sorry, j value will point over here. This will become a of j, and before that this will become a of j minus 1. Again it will compare, is 1 less than 2? Yes, it is less than 2. It is true. So it will exchange. 1 will be shifted to here and 2 will be shifted to here. Finally, your array will be something like this. Now tell me, is it fully arranged?
Yes, sir.
See, it is fully arranged from smaller to bigger. So this is the ascending order sort. I think in your classes also, ma'am has given you algorithm as well as these things, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the procedure, how you will compare. So you will select, see if you write j is equal to 1, it will select a of 1 and a of 0. So how a of 0? If you subtract -1 from j, then it will shift to your first location. Then it will compare the two numbers and it will shift. If it is lesser, it will exchange the numbers. If it is not lesser, it will not exchange. So it will keep on doing until it finishes your arrangement of ascending order. So if you have C4 memory location, it will take 3 sorts. If you have 5 memory locations, it will take 4 sorts. Okay. Okay, let us go to our program. Okay. We have our header files iostream and conio.h. I have explained you what is iostream conio.h. Now coming to program, again the procedure of your program is 50% same of your previous program, whatever you had studied till now from 3 programs. So you'll write class, then you'll write private, public, then next what will you write? Void main method.
Main function.
Yeah, main function. So under main function, you'll write your class name. Class name is sort, and we'll give some short name for your class that is also called as object. Then you'll write your clear screen and you'll write your getch. Then I'll start writing my methods. First method is void get data. So I'll write the function even outside the class as well by calling that method. And second method, okay, yes dot get data. Here also I have to denote them. Next, insertion sort. I have to write that method, and also have to call that method in my void main. Then third, display. Since I did not have space over here, I have written over here void display. See, I have written over here, and I'm calling that void display also as yes dot display. One what do you say? One doubt you might have. See here, I have written get data first, then display, and then insertion sort. Now you might be having a doubt that you'll ask, sir, you have written in this arrangement. See, this should be 1, this should be 2, and this should be 3. This should come third. But you have written this as third and this as second. Will this execute first and then will it execute this? You might be having this doubt, right? Okay. See, wherever you want, you can write your method. See, even you can write this display method as first itself over here. But whenever your program starts executing, your program will start to execute from get data, then insertion sort, then display. How will be the computer know that it needs to do the program in that fashion? See, here you have to give the arrangement. See here, first you have given get data, then you have given insertion sort, then you have given display. So here, if you give the arrangement properly in your void main, here wherever you want, you can write your functions. There'll be no problem. Okay, up and down, first or third, second, etc. Wherever you want to, you can write. There'll be no problem since you have arranged your methods over here. So if it is arranged, it will automatically call this method wherever you have written. See, after calling the class, it will call the get data. So it will directly go to our get data, which is over here. Now next, after finishing execution of get data, it will go to insertion sort, which is over here. It will take the code from here, execute, and it will come back. Then again, it is display. It will go over here, take the values, execute, and then it will display, and then it will show the output, and it will come out to your screen. So this is the procedure. Here also you can write in unordered fashion, even though if you write this in unordered fashion as well as these. But if it is arranged here, then your program will run accordingly. Okay. Okay, this much method is almost similar to your previous programs. Still here, anyone has doubt? Amira, Kafil, Riaz, Amadi, Tanya, Nasiba.
No, sir.
Okay, see till here procedure is same for each of the programs. Now next comes your insertion sort. I have given you an idea how the insertion sort looks like. So before that, get data is almost similar of like first program, second program. Get data is almost similar. Okay, we'll start with get data. So see how to enter the size of the array. So it will ask us to enter the size of the array. Now how will we give the input as? We'll write it as seen as n. So it will ask us the n value. If we write 5, it will construct an array of 5 memory, sorry, 4 I had to write. Okay, till here we had finished. Next, enter the size of the array, and it will ask us the size of the array. And if we input seen as n, so it will ask us the n value. I'll write it as n value as 4. So it will display our array of 4 memory locations. Then each memory location will have its own address, which is given as a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3. Okay. Now next thing what we do is, what will we do next? Anyone tell me? We'll fill this array with some anonymous elements. Okay, with some random elements. So I'll write it as C out, enter the array elements. Okay. Now since I have to enter some elements, I'll write it as C in A of I. So if I write this, I can insert one element into my array. Now if I have to continuously insert many elements, how will I do? I'll write
With for loop.
Yeah, you will write for loop. So if you write for loop, then continuously I'll be inserting each element as I keep on writing in my output to insert in my array. Okay. Next, so even this procedure is same as compared to your previous programs, constructing an array, inserting elements in an array. Now comes insertion sort, the main thing which you have to learn. So insertion sort, since everyone got to know the logic in the beginning, as I explained you, it should be arranged in ascending order. See, this is not arranged in neither in ascending nor in descending order. It is arranged in some other fashion. Okay, we have to arrange it in ascending order. So first thing in our who is that idiot? Okay. Okay. Since I in insertion sort, I have to check the elements and arrange one after the other. So I'll not take the iteration only, or I'll not do the iteration only once. I'll do how many times? As I told you, it will take the iterations. If you have four memory locations, how many iterations will it take? As I told you, it will take 3 iterations. So I took for loop. since it has to repeat 3 times. So I will take first sort, that is what for loop is, second sort, a third sort. Okay, next thing. So I will write j is equal to 1. Now first I is at first position. See, I is equal to 1. So it is at first position. So I value is also at first position. If you write j is equal to I, then it will take the value of your I. What is the value of I? It is 1. So I will write the j value also as 1. See, if I write j is equal to I, I will write j value as I value. I value is nothing but 1. So 1 I have recorded. Now I'll write my while loop. First, why I have written while loop? Because it will check for each iteration till when I have to exchange my values. Okay. So since j value is 1, 1 is greater than or equal to 1. Yes, 1 is equal to 1. Next, I'll select my memory locations from where I should start exchanging. So since my j value was 1, as I told you, it will point to this location and previous location. So this location will be called as a of j, and a of first location will be a of j minus 1. See, j value is 1. If you subtract 1 from this, it
Sir,
will
can you
become
explain it from loop, sir? For loops explain karo.
okay, for loop. Till here, I think you people have understood it. Okay. Now, how will extend the start from? It will start from here. First, see, before, oh, okay, this also I'll explain you. Wait. Initially, when I enter array, which will be my first element and first position, this is my first position. Obviously, with only one element, I cannot do comparison. Okay. So what will I do? I'll take the second element, second memory location. So that is why I'll take I value as 1. Why I value as 1? Because I'll do this iteration many times. So first iteration, I'll start from this. And here itself, I'll take my j value as 1. That is, j value is nothing but a value of I. Why do we take j of I? Because this value I will be comparing with this value. If it is lesser, then what I'll do is I'll shift this value from here to here, and I'll shift this value to this value. So after shifting, now j value over here is 0, right? Now, since now j is indicating at 0, the next box we don't have. If we write j of minus 1, so it will not execute anything because I don't have j minus 1 here only. Before to that, before exchanging, this was j, this was j minus 1. So after exchanging, this will become only j, and this will become j of this will become j of minus 1. So which is not at all present. So it will it will finish your first iteration here itself. That is why we use for loop, such that it will jump onto the next memory location, such that it can again transfer this value from here to here by comparing, and this value from here to here. Then simultaneously, next this will become j, and this will become j minus 1. This value will be transferred here, and this value will be transferred here. Since we have to start our sorting from now to, we use for loop. See, only once exchanging is directly you can do. For each of them to exchange, we use for loop. See, I'll write my for loop. I'll write for loop as I is equal to 1, I is less than n, I plus plus. So I is equal to 1 starts from A of I. Okay. Now I less than n. What is the value of n? It is 4. So less than n, less than 4 is 3. So up to here, you have to do what? Your for loop. You have to carry the iteration. So you are starting from here. So first iteration I is equal to 1. Next, again, if you start exchanging your values, you are comparing the values, you will start from 2. So next iteration, next sort will be from I is equal to 2. So that this is why we use for loop, because we have to continuously exchange values from previous element to present element. See, first iteration 2 to 5, that is why I wrote I1. Next sort I is equal to 2 from 3 to 2 and 2 to 3. Then I is equal to 3. Third sort, it will start from 3, third location to this, and second location to third. That is why we use for loop. Okay, for loop will start from 1, that is 1, this position. It will go up to the third position. So 3 iterations. Got for loop? I hope you understood, right? Hey, if you have doubt, you can ask. I'll clear as I go on. Kafil?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It clear, sir.
So for loop we are using so such that we can transfer our elements from this position to this. So here it takes only one transfer. So because I is equal to 1, it is starting itself from here. Now next iteration, it will start from I is equal to 2. So it will start from here. So it will do one exchange. Then again from here, one more exchange. Okay. I is equal to 3 means it will do 3 times exchange. From here to here 1 time. Then from here to here 2 times. Then from here to here 3 times. That is for loop. See, that is what I told. First sort is I is equal to 1. Second sort I is equal to 2. Third sort is I is equal to 3. Now I'll write J is equal to I, means I'll select that position itself as my J. Why? Because now I have to compare my elements with the previous to present. Okay, I'll take J is equal to 1 because J is equal to I. I value is nothing but 1. So this while loop, I'll explain you it. Why I have written this while loop. Now this position, I'll select it as A of J, and this position, since it is less than J value, so I'll write it as J minus 1. J minus 1 is 0. So now these two elements I'll be comparing. So while comparing, for comparison operation, I'll write if statement. If my A of J value, this is A of J value, is less than A of J minus 1. Okay. If 2 is less than 5. See, value of A of J is 2, which is less than 5. Is it true? 2 is less than 5? Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
It is true. So if condition, if it becomes true, if your number is smaller than the next number, it will start extending. See, like this, 2 will come over here, 5 will come over here. So how will it take place? The exchange take place. I showed you. It will consider a temporary variable. Okay. And A of J value is how much? 5. And A of J minus 1 is, sorry, A of J is 2. A of J minus 1 is 5. See, 5 value is there in A of J minus 1. 2 value is there in A of J. Now it will start exchanging. See here, I have directly written exchanging. How internally exchanging part takes place is to value will go to your temporary variable. So how you should write the statement over here? You should write temporary variable is equal to a of j. See, whenever you make a statement like this, a of j value will be stored in where? Temporary variable. So this 2 value will go save in our temporary variable. See, now 2 gets copied to my temporary variable. So this the meaning of temporary is equal to a of j is nothing but a of j value will get saved to my temporary variable. Now I have to shift my a of j minus 1 value, that is 5, to a of j value. I'll write it as a of j minus 1. Sorry, a of j is equal to a of j minus 1. So whichever element you are transferring from, you have to write that one over here, and whichever memory location is getting your element, you should write that over here. Okay. So now this 5 will be transferred to 2 if you write this equation. Now tell me the third equation. How will you write? From where you have to get the
A
element
of
next
j
to?
minus 1 is equal to temp.
Now a of j minus 1 should get the value from the temporary value. So I'll write a of j minus 1 is equal to 10. Understood? If anyone has doubt in this, I'll clear this. Ask. Nobody has doubts. Okay, this is the exchange process. So this exchange process took for only these 2 memory locations. Okay, so one value we have exchanged. So your array will look array will look something like this. Okay, now next we have to go to our next iteration. Why? See, after finishing, it will come over here, that is j minus minus. What is the value of j now? J was 1. Okay, now j will come to j minus minus. J minus minus means, see, previously value of j was 1. J minus minus means it will minus 1 again. So what is the value of j? 0. So it will come over here and it will check, is 0 greater than or equal to 1? It is neither greater, it is nor equal. So while loop, it will not execute. It will come out, it will go to for loop. Now I will get incremented to how much? It was 1. Now it will increment to 2. That is what? The second sort. Now it will come to 2. That is j is equal to 2. Now in the array, I will display. See, this is our array. Now the position given is j is equal to 2 because the I value is 2. Now where will the cursor point? The cursor will point R2, our array to second memory location. Second memory location is a of 2. So this will become our a of j, and the next one will become our a of j minus 1. Again, the same procedure takes place. See, if a of j is less than a of j minus 1, if a of j value is less than a of j minus 1, again the same procedure it takes place. If it is lesser, see, if it is lesser, 3 will get shifted to here and 5 will get shifted to here. How? Using this process. Now again j will decrease. How much was j value? It was 2. Now j value, again, if it is j minus minus, so j value was how much? 2. See, it is 2. If you write minus minus, 2 minus 1. How much it is? 1. Now it will go again to our while loop. Is 1 less than or equal to 1? Yes, it is not less, but it is equal to 1. So what will it do? Now this cursor, which is pointing over here, this will be pointing over here and this will be pointing over here. Why? Because j value has become 1 now. So this pointer will shift to here. I'll show you. See, this is our array. Now a of j will shift to this position and a of j minus 1 will shift to this position. See, since j was 1, j got decreased here and it went to next position. So this was a of j, this was a of j minus 1. Now it will compare whether 3 is smaller than 2. It is not smaller. So it will print the same array back again. Now it will go to our next position. Now j value will be how much? Position was 1. Now j value will become position j is equal to 0. Now 0 is greater than or equal to 1. Is it greater? No, it is not greater. Now again for loop will increase. It will go to third sort. Then it will take the position j is equal to I. That is position j is equal to the I value. That is 3. Now again I'll write my array. Okay. See, before extending, actually I had to write this later. Before extending, this will okay, j is equal to 3. Since it is pointing at third location, this will become my a of j and this will become my a of j minus 1. Now it will start exchanging. Since 1 is less than 5, according to this procedure, 1 is less than 5, yes, it will start to exchange. 1 will come to 5 and 5 will come to 1. Then next, j value gets decreased. As I told you, j value was 3. After exchanging, it will come over here. Now j value was 3. So j is equal to value was 3 minus 1 will get you how much? 2. Means now it has to go to next position. A of j should come over here and a of j should come over here. Then it will start again from here. It will go to while loop. It will check, is 2 greater than or equal to 1? Yes, it is greater than 1. So it will start executing this thing. See, I'll show you. Now a of j value will be pointing at this position, memory location, and next before j you will get j minus 1, this memory location. Now again it will compare whether 1 is greater than or equal to 3. Yes, sorry, whether 1 is less than or equal to 3. Yes, it is less than 3. Then it will start exchanging. Then again position of j will reduce because of j minus 1. So position will become j is equal to 1. Then a of j will be pointing to our memory location. Which one? This. And a of j minus 1 will be pointing to this. Again exchange takes place. 1 will be transferred to this first location and 2 will be transferred to the second memory location, such that your final array will be in the form of ascending order. Has everyone understood this procedure, insertion sort? Hey, if you have doubts, ask. I'll clear here itself. Then I'll go to the next. Okay. I hope the sorting process you people understood. Okay. Now, since you have got your ascending order, ascending sort, Now you have to arrange all these elements and display. So I'll come to my display. Now see out elements after sorting. I'll write. If I write that thing, it will show in my output screen elements after sorting. After sorting, obviously it should display all these elements 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. So I'll write for loop because I'm not displaying only one element. Since I'm displaying all the elements. As I told you, if you are using what do you say the frequency to display many a times, you will write for loop. So for loop, then what will you write to display each element? See out a of I you will write, because you will display one element. If you write for loop, it will continuously display all the elements. So see out a of I. Now since whatever the variables we have used in our program, we have to declare it over here. So first we have okay, sorting elements. Wait just a minute. Okay, so it will display all our elements, that is 1, 2, 3 and 5. Then next thing, whatever the variables we have used in our program, that we have to declare it over here in the private section. So we have used array a of 10, we have used n, so we'll write n. Then what else we have used? We have used I, so I'll write I. We have used j, we will write j. Then what else? We have used temporary variable, so I'll write temporary. Then okay, these many variables we have used. Inside these variables, I have used only numbers. So numbers are also called as integers. Okay, I hope everyone has understood the program. If you have doubts, you can ask. Only this logic you have to understand, this insertion sort. Kafil, Amira,
Yes, sir.
Amadi, you people have understood this, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why, Kafil? I know it
Yes,
is a
sir,
bit
yes,
lengthier
sir.
program. It is a little bit difficult to remember, but if you understand, you can write the logic.
Yeah, understood, sir.
Okay, anybody has previously typed program first, second, third? I'll give you a chance over here to display your program. I will correct online itself. Anyone wants to show?
Sir, how to execute, sir?
Oh, Amadi.
Yes, sir. phone में कैसा करना होता, sir?
Oh, then you did not attend the class only, I think.
Yeah, sir. Previous I didn't attend.
Okay, one small thing, I'll write it and explain you. In your phone, see, have you people downloaded that app?
Yes, sir.
I think everyone has downloaded that app. Has everyone downloaded that app? Turbo C, Droid.
No, sir.
Why, sir?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
You said you will say us some tricks if we forget programs.
Okay, yeah, I had told you. Okay, I'll show that.